Off and running, off and running, off and running with KimPossABLE. Off and running, off and running, off and running with KimPossABLE. Off and running.
Hello, this is KimPossABLE. I am here at the Savoy restaurant downtown Pittsburgh, and you know what we say, impossible is just an opinion. So look who I ran into here, this guy.
Hey.
Mayor Bill Peduto. So.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to talk to people about the importance of local elections.
So that's what he does. He talks to people about what's important. So what is important to you, Mayor?
I think, everyone gets geared up for the presidential election and there's a lot of emotion in it, but on a day-to-day basis, who you elect to be your council member, who you elect to be your school board member, and who you elect to be your mayor have more of an impact on your daily life. It's about what's happening in your own neighborhood, how development happens in your neighborhood, having a voice and a seat at the table in your own neighborhood, and then the opportunities that are created in the city you call home.
And what type of opportunities do you hope to create for the people of Pittsburgh?
Well, the world's changing, right? We're seeing it rapidly happening. And they're saying now that people in second grade, that 40% of the jobs when they graduate high school don't even exist yet. So the opportunities I see is how do we take our young people and give them a chance through after school programs, weekend programs, summer programs, to be more competitive than their suburban neighbors? How do we have opportunities for people in their 20s and 30s that are looking in between jobs to be able to say, hey, we're going to redevelop this neighborhood. But we're also going to hire people from the neighborhood in order to be able to redevelop it. And how do you provide opportunities for seniors and people who are retired to be able to have a good quality of life? I'm talking about everything from the way that we treat them during the day and providing them a place to gather, to giving them ways to do wellness and health opportunities to help with everything from arthritis to depression.
Well, let me ask you this. Those are all important issues. Let me ask you this. So when you were going through the process, the political process, because I'm sure you've had your journey through the levels of politics. What were some of the things that were important to you then? And are those same things that are important to you then the same things now, or have those changed?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I grew up a mile from the city of Pittsburgh, Chartiers Valley, and anywhere you hear the word valley in western Pennsylvania,
absolutely,
mills, right? Because it was the only flat place. But middle class, my dad was a school teacher, became a salesman as a school teacher. My mom raised 4 boys. And I grew up with a grandfather who came from Italy who raised chickens in our garage. And that wasn't cool back then. So my views were limited and my ideas were limited. I got to work in the city of Pittsburgh in 1995. And at that time, part of the council district that I worked in included East Liberty. But East Liberty was very different. The threats were much different. It was violent crime. It was businesses that were leaving. It was people that were leaving because of disinvestment.
Yes.
And worked with the community in order to put together a plan. Today, the threats in East Liberty are very different. They're gentrification. They're small businesses being pushed out. They're having people who've spent their entire life there through the bad times not being able to be there for the good times. So your eyes open as you have the opportunity to see things that are different. You may come in at 30 years old thinking you know everything, but there's still days that go every single week where I learn more. The nice thing about the way I had the opportunity of being a staff member, then a council member, then the mayor, is I was always able to be welcome. Whether it was that meeting in the church basement or the board meeting in one of the towers downtown, there was a seat at the table. My job is to make sure that more people have seats at the table. So no, I can't say that what I thought back then is what I think today, because I've had an opportunity to see the city through a 360.
Well, I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And for that message.
Yeah, welcome home.
Absolutely, thank you. It's good to be here and running into people like you. And I would like to say, when you your career, I'm sure you have a long extensive career in politics. I don't know how long you plan on staying in. I don't know. I hear the stress level is crazy.
It is.
Well, you don't have gray hair yet, so obviously you're doing pretty good so far. But I would like to say, so when you leave your seat as mayor, whenever that may be, what do you want to leave with? What do you want to leave as a legacy to the city of Pittsburgh?
Two things. And this sounds cliche, but there's a whole bunch of stuff behind it and the initiatives to make it happen. Back in the 80s, when this city was really struggling, when unemployment was 19%, when people just counted off for dead, people realized there was something special. I watched my family leave, I watched my friends leave, and they didn't want to leave, but there was no opportunity here. I want to make sure that whatever that thing was that was special about this town that you couldn't really describe doesn't get lost as we start to see growth. So I want to enhance upon what Pittsburgh is and to make it so that it happens in a way that's very organic. And then the second thing is building a Pittsburgh for all. I want when people one day look back at the time that we were there, they see all these initiatives that were created so that everybody had an opportunity and a chance to succeed. And I think we went through a period of time before World War II where we failed at doing that. And we went through a time after World War II where we failed to do it. And if we don't learn from those mistakes, then we're just going to repeat them. And I hope that the policies and the agendas we do make it a Pittsburgh for all and keeps Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh.
Okay, well, thank you. You heard that here. Now, I have one last question, because Off and Run is all about behind the scenes, the people behind the scenes. When the cameras are off and the camera's not rolling, who are you? So what I'd like to say, so if your friends were here, because you grew up here, you're from here, right? So what would your friends say about you? If I asked them, what do you think they would say about you as a person?
Live in the same townhouse that I've lived in for the past 20 years, hang out at the same bar in the same bar spot that I've hung out with since the late 80s, have the same friends that I had since kindergarten. And I think what my friends would say is that I'm one of the friends that they can go to during good times or bad, that's always there for them. I love my friends.
Well, I'm sure they love you too for saying that. Did they tell you to say that?
Yeah, we text a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so this is KimPossABLE, and I'm here, and I am off and running with Mayor Bill Peduto, and his agenda is to build a Pittsburgh for all. Thank you.
Thanks, Kim.